The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. People understand me so poorly that they don't even understand my complaint about them not understanding me. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true. It is perfectly true, as philosophers say, that life must be understood backwards. But they forget the other proposition, that it must be lived forwards. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. What if everything in the world were a misunderstanding? What if laughter were really tears? The proud person always wants to do the right thing, the great thing. But because he wants to do it in his own strength, he is fighting not with man, but with God. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen but, if one will, are to be lived. There is nothing with which every man is so afraid as getting to know how enormously much he is capable of doing and becoming. How absurd men are! They never use the liberties they have, they demand those they do not have. They have freedom of thought, they demand freedom of speech. It is the duty of the human understanding to understand that there are things which it cannot understand. Hakiki iman sovelicity imamutlik bir yanseln, yapmachisitarakatslan pesandator. I sacrifice myself for my profession, my wife, my children, or, more properly expressed, I do not sacrifice myself for them, but I find in them my satisfaction and joy. Is it such a self-deception the present generation has need of? Does it need to be trained to virtuosity in self-deception, or is it not rather sufficiently perfected already in the art of deceiving itself? What is it to be God's elect? It is to be denied in youth the wishes of youth, so as with great pains to get them fulfilled in old age. Why then did Abraham do it? For God's sake, and, in complete identity with this, for his own sake. He did it for God's sake because God required this proof of his faith, for his own sake he did it in order that he might furnish the proof. The thought of death gives the earnest person the right momentum in life and the right goal toward which he directs his momentum. What is education? I should suppose that education was the curriculum one had to run through in order to catch up with oneself. La or del dole puede volvernos altivos, si es que no nos quie ibera, en ella, nada se ha quebrado.